What's going on, guys? It is PANJ here, and today I'm going to bring you guys the ultimate FPS increase guide / ultimate performance guide for Fortnite Chapter 2, also known as Fortnite 2. Whether this is your first time tuning into one of my videos or seeing one of my guides, or if you've watched every single one of my guides for Fortnite so far, this video is going to be improving upon previous optimizations, including a plethora of easy to apply optimizations not just to the game but also inside of the operating system to enhance more power to go towards gaming applications, ultimately aiming to help you guys achieve the very best FPS possible, the most stable FPS possible, removing any input lag and stuttering you might be experiencing, and overall enhancing the gameplay experience to give you guys the best competitive edge possible and the best performance on the system in which you have, regardless of your system specs. It'll also be fantastic to know of any results in which you get from this video in that comment section down below, as it is always fantastic to hear from you, alongside any feedback or suggestions for other content. Alongside that, if you guys are happy with this video, please leave a like on the videos, it helps me out tremendously, and also consider pressing that subscription button with the bell notification to be notified instantly of updated videos, community suggested content, or other videos uploaded to the channel. So to kick things off with the Chapter 2 optimizations, it's actually recommended that you do a few things before jumping into the optimizations themselves to ensure that the game is running to the best of its ability, and we remove any old or excess files which still might be installed from the Chapter 2 update. There's going to be 3 things I recommend that you do. You can pick and choose which of them you wish to do so, subject to how your system is set up, time you have available to you, and your internet connection. Might depend on whether or not you're able to follow these steps. First thing I'd recommend doing is actually performing a complete reinstall of Fortnite, which means deleting Fortnite, deleting all of your old config files, and installing everything brand new and fresh for Season 2. As a lot of the time, many of the files are just added on top of each other, slowing down the game installation. So for Chapter 2, assuming that we're at a new beginning with Fortnite, it's recommended that you actually go ahead and delete the game entirely, which you can do so through the Epic Games launcher. Upon reinstalling the game, it's also recommended that you install the game to an SSD. This will help improve frame times, stability, and reduce any stuttering you might be experiencing, and will give the game the best performance possible. For anyone wishing to completely reinstall Fortnite, to do this what you'll need to do is navigate to the bottom left hand side, and we're going to be typing in %appdata%, just like so, and pressing enter. Inside of the app data folder, take yourself up to the top to the app data folder found here, then find yourself into the local folder, scroll down to the F section, and we're going to be looking for the Fortnite game folder found within inside of here. Simply go ahead and you can make a backup of this if you wish to do so, but for now what I'd recommend doing is actually going ahead and deleting this folder. At this point we can exit out, go up to the recycling bin and empty the recycling bin. For the last step of uninstalling the game completely, ready for a fresh reinstall, you'll need to take yourselves over to the Epic Games launcher by double clicking. Once inside of the Epic Games launcher, head over to your library, go over to Fortnite, go to the right hand side to the 3 dots. With inside of here, you'll then have the option to uninstall. Click on uninstall, it will take a few moments time. Once the game has been completely uninstalled, at this point I'd recommend rebooting your PC, opening back into the Epic Games launcher, downloading the game once again. When you then boot into the game for the first time, it will then auto generate you brand new configs for Fortnite Chapter 2. Again, that's only for you guys out there who have a bit of extra time on your hands and you have a decent enough internet connections, so you don't mind taking around about 20 minutes or half an hour or so just to completely reinstall the game fresh for the second chapter. Before starting off with this guide, it's highly recommended that you set up a system restore point. The reason we're going to be doing this is so that any changes you make within inside of this video to your game, operating system, or anything you wish to do so, you can do so with complete confidence and safety. Setting up a restore point takes around about 20 seconds time from start to finish, and it means that after this video at any point you can restore Windows back to the point before this video, change all of your settings back to how they were, so you can test these out. If your PC doesn't like them for any reason or you wish to turn them off yourself, you can just go back to that restore point and everything will be reverted back safely, easily, and quickly. To set up a system restore point, take yourself into the bottom left hand side and type in system restore. Once you guys have done that, you'll then be shown the option for create a restore point. Click on that option. In the systems property tab that comes up, go to system protection, scroll all the way down, and we're looking for our local disk C drive, or this might also be called system. So simply go ahead and highlight your C drive. If system protection isn't turned on for your C drive, go to the configure tab and turn on system protection. Set it to either 1 or 5%, press apply, and then press OK. Once you guys have done that and protection is now on for your C drive, go down to the create button. At this point you'll simply name your system restore point. You can name it anything you wish to do so. We'll just do this Fortnite, and then press create. After a few moments time, the system restore point will then be created, and from then on you can restore Windows back easily and simply from this point in the video. Once you guys have got that done, go ahead and press OK, and we're ready to start off with all of the optimizations. So to start off with the Fortnite Chapter 2 optimizations, it's recommended that you take yourself into the description down below and you'll be finding the Fortnite Chapter 2 FPS Pack, which has been compiled by myself. Simply click on the top download link. If you're having any issues downloading the file or putting it onto your desktop, try out the second link. One of those links should work out for you. Download the file, put it onto your desktop. And once you guys have got that, you'll then be given this file found here. If you go ahead and right click on the file, you should find the option for extract here. If you don't find that option, you'll need to download 7-zip or WinRAR. You can take yourselves over to Google one of those programs, install it to your PC, and you'll then be given the option to extract here. Once you guys have extracted the file, you'll then be given a folder on your desktop with an identical name. With inside of here, these are all the folders, files, optimizations, and configs we're going to be using to follow along with this video safely, quickly, and easily. To kick things off, what we're going to be doing is actually installing our brand new optimized Chapter 2 configs. So to install these is very simple and easy to do. Go inside of the config folder, you'll be met with 3 folders. For the best results, it's recommended that you select the folder which best matches your system specs, or how you wish your game to be set up. If you guys are running on a lower end system, select the low end folder, but you still want an FPS boost but you want good graphics, go with high end, and if you guys want the recommended config for most PCs out there and you want a competitive edge, and you're running on a decent-ish PC, go with the recommended folder. Once you guys have made a decision, click on the folder you're going to be going with and you'll be met with an engine, game user settings, and scalability file. To install these, it's very simple and easy to do. What you're going to want to do is simply minimize this folder and drag it to the right hand side. At this point, take yourself to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, and we're going to be typing in %appdata %, just like so, and pressing enter, and drag this folder over to the left hand side. With inside of this folder, go up to the directory at the top, click where it says app data, go into the local folder. Once inside of the local folder, scroll all the way down to the F section, and they should be listed with an alphabetical order. We're going to be looking for the Fortnite game folder. If you don't have a Fortnite game folder with inside of it and you reinstalled the game, just quickly go ahead and boot into the game and close it out, as this will generate the new configs in which you need. If you already have a Fortnite game folder in here, that's absolutely fine. Double click on the Fortnite game folder, go into saved, go into config, Windows client, and with inside of here we're simply going to be going ahead to the right hand side to our optimized Chapter 2 configs, highlighting all 3 of them, dragging them and dropping them with inside of the Fortnite directory. Replace the files with inside of this destination, and once you guys have done that, you've now successfully installed your optimized Chapter 2 game config files. Proceeding on from there, what we're now going to be going ahead and doing is actually ensuring that our launch options are either set up or set up correctly for Chapter 2. For these, it's very simple. Go into the FPS Pack provided, go into the launch options text document found on the front page, and with inside of it, you'll be met with the Fortnite Chapter 2 launch options. The option you're going to have to change is where it says dash preferred processor, and you can see for me it says the number 8. The reason this is set to 8 is because my CPU is an 8-core 8-thread CPU, so I have 8 threads available. To see what you need to set this to for your system, your number's more than likely going to be different to mine. To see your number, simply scroll down to the bottom, go to your taskbar, right click and open up Task Manager. With inside of Task Manager, take yourself over to the Performance tab, click where it says CPU. Now on the bottom right hand side, you're going to be looking for cores and logical processors. For whichever your number of logical processors is, as you can see mine is set to 8, your number will more than likely be different to mine. So whichever your number is here, take yourself over to the launch options notepad, change the number. Once it's then changed, highlight all the way from the right hand side to the left hand side, select copy, exit out of the launch options, take yourself into the Epic Games launcher once again. Go over to the left hand side to the settings cog, scroll all the way down to the bottom to the drop down menus for manage games, click where it says Fortnite. If you guys don't have any additional command line arguments, select this option. I'd then recommend, if you do have any with inside of here, to remove absolutely everything until the box is clear like so, then press Ctrl and V on your keyboard. Once you guys have done that, we can then go into the drop down menu for Fortnite once again, and that will save those changes, go back to settings and minimize out the launcher. That now brings us on to one of the most important optimizations, which was founded around about 2 seasons ago, and it is still highly recommended in which you follow along with now. So go inside of the FPS Pack provided, go inside of the optimizations folder, and with inside of here we're going to be going into the Fortnite 2 custom launcher. With inside of here, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is actually go into the C, D, E or F drive installs depending on where you have Fortnite installed to. This basically means if you have Fortnite installed to your local disk C drive, you'll go into the C drive install folder. If you have it on your E drive, go into the E drive and vice versa. My Fortnite, and if you guys have installed Fortnite to the default location as well, will be on your C drive folder. So go into C drive install. At this point, what you'll then go ahead and do is actually click on the folder for the amount of CPU cores and threads you have. So again, take yourself over to the taskbar, open up Task Manager, go to Performance, click on CPU, and on the right hand side you'll see cores and logical processors. So let's say your CPU has 8 cores and 16 logical processors. You'll go for the 8 core 16 thread folder found here. As you can see, both of my numbers are 8, so I'm going to be going with the 8 cores 8 threads folder. If you guys have 4 cores and 4 logical processors, you will not get an FPS increase from doing this, so you can exit out of this folder and skip this step. But for me, I'm going to be going inside of 8 cores 8 threads, and you'll then be met with a custom launcher. Drag the launcher onto your desktop, and this is the launcher we're going to be using to boot Fortnite from now on. Then that brings us on to some of the application fixes for the game itself. If you guys again have followed along with this step with inside of my other videos, make sure that you do come in here again, as with the Chapter 2 update, most of these have been reset back to the default value. So for this, what we're going to be doing is actually navigating into the folder in which Fortnite is installed into. To do this, we're going to take ourselves to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, and we're then going to type in this PC just like so, and click on this PC. With inside of here, we're then going to go into the folder in which Fortnite is installed to. If you guys have not changed the Fortnite installation directory when you installed the game, it will be in your local disk C drive. If you've installed it to your E drive or D drive in a custom location, you'll have to locate that yourself. So if you guys running on the default location like myself, go into local disk C, go into Program Files, scroll down to the E section, we're going to be looking for Epic Games. Go inside of Epic Games, Fortnite, we're then going to go inside of Fortnite Game, Binaries, Win64. We're then going to proceed to scroll all the way down to the Fortnite Win64 shipping application, just like so. Right click on the application, go to Properties. Inside of here, then go to the Compatibility tab, disable your full screen optimizations like so, go to Change High DPI, and override the high DPI scaling behavior. Press OK, apply, and OK. We're then going to apply that same optimization to the Fortnite launcher. So once again, right click, Properties, Compatibility, disable, override, OK, apply, and OK. Piggybacking off of that step, what we're now going to do is apply a very quick fix or tweak, which will actually boot Fortnite every single time into the high priority mode within inside of Windows. Take yourself over to the FPS Increase Pak provided, go inside of the Optimizations folder, and we're going to be going inside of the Fortnite 2 Process folder. With inside of here, you'll be met with Fortnite above normal priority, Fortnite high priority, and Fortnite normal. Clicking on any of these keys will set the priority mode with inside of Windows every time the game boots automatically. For most of you watching this video, high priority will give the best results, but if you do run into some hitching issues or the game starts to stutter, you might want to come in here and go back to normal. But for 95% of you watching this video, click on high priority, select yes, yes, and OK, and that optimization has been applied. Once you guys have installed your latest GPU driver, or if you're choosing to skip updating your GPU driver, take yourself into the FPS Pack once again, go inside of the Optimizations folder, and you're going to want to be going inside of the GPU Settings folder. With inside of there, you'll be finding 3 screenshots for NVIDIA cards and 3 for AMD Radeon cards, which will show you the ultimate control panel settings. It's highly recommended that you follow along with all of the screenshots with inside of the GPU settings, as it will help you optimize and fine tune for performance, and it's completely free, easy, and safe to do. Again, to access the control panel for either AMD or NVIDIA, right click on the desktop and open it just like so. That now brings us onto another very important optimization for Chapter 2, and that is going to be on the basis of custom resolutions. Custom resolutions are absolutely fantastic in helping you guys achieve the FPS you wish to desire, whilst keeping your resolution as high as possible. Most of you guys watching this video are typically going to be playing Fortnite at 1920 by 1080, and if that is the case, there is a fantastic custom resolution in which you can set up very easily, and which I'm going to show you how to do now. What we're going to do is right click on the desktop, open up the NVIDIA control panel. With inside of the NVIDIA control panel, once it opens up, take yourself over to the left hand side and we're going to be going to the change resolution button found here. Click on your normal PC resolution and you should have the option to customize it down at the bottom. Once you guys have clicked the customize button, take yourself to the bottom here to enable resolutions, and we're then going to go ahead and click on the create custom resolution button. With inside of here, we're going to be setting the horizontal pixels to 1904 by 1071, just like so. Again, only apply this custom resolution if you play at 1920 by 1080 or higher. Go ahead and press the test button, so go ahead and press OK, the screen will flash for a second and the resolution will then come up as a choosable resolution. Go ahead and check the box for the resolution to enable it, press OK and you're good to go. Also, for any of you guys running on NVIDIA cards which are compatible, take yourselves over to the adjust desktop size and position tab and enable integer scaling just like so. Highlight the option, press apply at the bottom. This will make sure that everything looks crisp and smooth at all times. That now brings us on to some of the closing and most important optimizations, but before we jump in with those, we're quickly going to be booting into the game itself to fine tune our settings, set up our settings according to our system specs, and make sure that everything is working currently, so we can finish off with the most important optimizations afterwards. Once you guys have booted into the game, take yourself up to the top right hand side to the 3 dashes, click on the menu, and we're going to be going into the settings tab found here. So to start off, what we're going to be doing is actually setting up our window mode. For nearly every single person watching, full screen is going to be the recommended window mode. For your display resolution, this is going to be according to your system specs once again. Generally, lower is better. If you guys are running on an ultra low end system, set this to 1280 by 720. Otherwise, if you're using a custom resolution or wish to keep the base native resolution, you can select that now. If you set up the custom resolution we just set up for some of you guys out there, if you've enabled that yourselves, you can now have this option available with inside of the game. At this point, you can also enforce a frame rate limit if you wish to do so. I'm personally going to be going with unlimited. We're then going to take ourselves down to the 3D resolution option. This is going to be one of the most important options with inside of here for achieving your desired frame rate. For you guys running on ultra low end systems, it's recommended that you go with 1280 by 720 for the display resolution. Drag this all the way down to the lowest option possible and enable that by applying it in the bottom right hand side. At this point, you can tab out, have a look at the character model. If it looks too blurry and too rubbish, come back with inside of here, drag the bar up to around about 1/4 of it being full, apply that, go back inside of the game menu and keep doing this until you reach the visual balance which you are happy with, as you wish to keep the 3D resolution as low as possible if you want the best FPS. For me, I'm going to be keeping this at 100% as I'm using a custom resolution. That now brings us down to view distance. We're going to be setting near view distance for every single person watching this video, regardless of system specs. Moving down to shadows, if you guys want the best FPS possible regardless of your system spec, turning these off will give you the best FPS. If you want the added visuals of having shadows, put them to medium at the very best. Anti-aliasing is going to be personal preference. Setting this to off will give you guys the best FPS possible, but again, if you must have this on to get rid of some of the jaggy edges, go to medium at the very most. Textures, what we're going to be doing for the best results for textures is actually setting them to match our system spec. If you're on a low-end system, go with low, go with medium, or high-end system, go with high. Don't bother with epic. Effects is going to be set to low for everyone, post-processing low for everyone, but you can switch this to medium if you really want the added visuals. But if you're watching this video, you probably care more towards FPS than you do extra effects. VSync is going to be switched to the off position, motion blur off, show FPS on, and multi-threaded rendering is going to be switched on. At this point, take yourself to the bottom right hand side and press the apply button. We can then take ourselves up to the normal settings cog found here at the top. Scroll all the way down with inside of here, and we're going to be looking for the option for feedback. In video highlights, I'd recommend switching to the off position if you don't use this feature. If you do, you can keep it on, but you will expect to lose some FPS from using this. Record replays, again, switch this off if you don't use any of these options. Record large team, and creative mode replays also off. Press apply once again, and then last but not least, take yourselves up to the audio tab found here at the top. Go to the sound quality, and what we're going to be doing is actually turning sound quality to low. And also 3D headphones, we're going to be switching this off for the best FPS possible, as having this switched on currently does cause stuttering when you're hit by enemy players. At this point, take yourself once again to the bottom right hand side, press apply, and we can then go ahead and actually exit out of the game. That now brings us on to some of the closing optimizations within inside of this video, and which are some of the most important ones to follow along with. To kick these off, what we're going to be doing is navigating into the FPS pack provided and going inside of the optimizations folder. Once you're inside of here, go down to the Reg Optimization Fixes folder. Now, before proceeding on to any of the registry optimization fixes which are shown on the screen now, it's highly recommended at this point that you set up a system restore point before continuing on with these registry optimizations. They are safe, easy, and fast to apply, and they are highly effective. You can turn them off easily by going back to the system restore point in which you set up earlier. If you haven't done that, take yourself to the start of the video, and you can see how to set up a system restore point if you didn't already. If at any point you wish to revert all of these changes back to stock, you can go inside of the default reg folder found with inside of here and apply all of these to change them back to the stock value. But for what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going back into the main optimizations folder, double click on the optimization, select yes, yes, and OK, and that optimization has been applied. We can then proceed to go down to DVR2, disable this, yes, yes, and OK. We can then enable the full screen fix, yes, yes, and OK once again. Following on from there, we can then go with inside the game optimizations, apply this registry fix by pressing yes and OK. Then last but not least, you'll be met with the low end to medium end optimization and the medium to high end optimization. You're only going to be wanting to click on one of these optimizations, and you're going to be wanting to click on the one which best matches your system specs. So if you're running on a low to medium end system, go with low to medium. If you're running on a medium to ultra high end gaming PC, go with medium to high. I'm going to be going with medium to high, so double click on the optimization, select yes, yes, and OK. And at this point, you've now applied all of the registry fixes in which I've added to and shown inside of other previous seasons. So if you've updated Windows since watching any of my previous videos, or if you've never followed along with any of these steps before, make sure that you apply these steps. That now brings us on to a very quick fix for any of you guys who use Discord. Whether you have the application running in the background or if you use it to actually talk to people whilst playing, it's highly recommended that you apply this optimization, as this will not slow down Discord, but should benefit you in terms of reducing your stuttering. Take yourself into the Discord app. Once inside of Discord, take yourself to the bottom left hand side to your user settings. Inside of the user settings tab, take yourself over to the left hand side, scroll all the way down until you find the appearance tab. Once you guys have selected the appearance tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom, go to the advanced section, find the option for hardware acceleration, and if the flicker switch is turned on, simply turn this to the off position, press OK to the warning that comes up, Discord will then be restarted and hardware acceleration will be turned off. Proceeding on from there, we're now going to be going ahead with one of the most important optimizations within inside of this entire video, and one in which every single person watching should apply. For this, what we're going to be doing is actually setting up a ultimate performance power plan within inside of Windows 10. Every single person watching this video running on Windows 10 can set up this power plan easily, simply, and safely, and it's highly recommended to do so regardless of your system specs. What you'll do is you'll navigate into the FPS pack provided once again, navigate with inside of the command text document with inside of the main page, highlight all the way from the right hand side to the left hand side, right click and select copy. You can then go ahead and exit out of the notepad. At this point, take yourself down to the bottom left hand side, and what we're going to be doing is actually typing in CMD. Once you guys have typed that in, you'll then be met with a command prompt. Before opening command prompt, make sure that you right click on command prompt and run this as an administrator. If you don't run this as an admin, this command which we're about to put in will not be recognized and nothing will happen. Once you guys have opened up the app, select yes, and then the command prompt will then open up. At this point, take yourself over to the keyboard, press Ctrl and then V, paste in the command in which we copied earlier, press enter, and you'll then be met with Power Scheme GUID Ultimate Performance. At this point, go ahead and exit out the command prompt. We can now actually enable that performance power plan very simply and easily by taking ourselves down to the bottom left hand side, typing in power space plan just like so, going to the edit power plan or choose power plan option, navigate up to the navigation bar at the top, select where it says power options, We're then going to go to the Show Additional Power Plans tab, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you should then see the option for Ultimate Performance Power Plan within inside of this tab. Go ahead and select the Ultimate Performance Power Plan. If for any reason you don't wish to use the Ultimate Performance Power Plan, but you do want a significant performance increase, you can also select the High Performance, but this doesn't perform as well as Ultimate. So once you guys have selected the Ultimate Performance Power Plan, you can then exit out of the power options. And to finish off with the power optimizations, there's only one last piggyback step to ensure that the power plan is set up properly and enhanced. For this, you're going to be wanting to go into the FPS Increase Pak provided once again, go inside of the optimizations folder. With inside of here, we're then going to be looking for the quick CPU setup. Double click on the quick CPU setup, and at the bottom side of your screen now, you'll then be seeing an explanation as to what this program does and why you wish to use it. To set the program up, simply go ahead and press next, accept the terms, next, and install. Go ahead and press yes to any prompts that come up. Make sure that the launch option down here is checked and press finish. Once you guys have booted into the program, you might be notified of a newer version being available. I tend to not bother updating, you can if you wish to do so, but I'm just going to go ahead and press close. So for this, what we're going to do is start off by going to the top left hand side to the power data, go to the drop down menu and select the power plan we set up in the previous step. If you want with high performance, go with high performance. If you want with ultimate, select ultimate. Proceeding on from there, we're then going to take ourselves down to the bottom. Go to core parking index, drag the slider, drag this to 100%. Repeat that step for the frequency scaling index, so drag the slider to 100% just like so. Drag the turbo boost index once again to 100%. Once you guys have got all of those options set up, take yourself to the bottom right hand side, press apply. It will then notify you that changes have successfully been applied. Press OK and we're then good to go. We can perform some very quick system maintenance, which is highly effective. Take yourself to the bottom left hand side, type in %temp% just like so and press enter. This is the ultimate Windows dump. This is where all of your Windows caching files, registry files and other excess unused rubbish go from programs in which you use, until eventually you come in here and manually remove it. And that's what we're going to be doing now. Highlight everything from the top to the bottom. You might have more files in here than I do. Right click and select delete. You'll then be met with this option found here. Hit do this for all current items and hit skip. Every time that comes up, simply follow those options. If you are left with some folders and files inside of here, no need to be alarmed. These are the only folders and files which Windows was actually using. At this point we can then go ahead and exit out and once again take ourselves to the top left hand side, go to recycling bin and empty the recycling bin. This now leads us on to the last and final optimization within inside of this video, which is arguably one of the most important. Before applying this, it's recommended that you take yourself to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, right click on the power option and perform a quick system restart to ensure that Windows is completely updated with the new settings in which we've applied, and we're good to go with the last and final optimization and then boot into the game. For the last and final optimization, we're going to go back into the FPS Increase guide one last time, go inside of the optimizations folder and drag the folder for the ISLC version 1016, this folder found here, onto the desktop. At this point you're probably wondering what this program is and what it does. Inside of this program you'll be met with the Intelligent Standby List Cleaner. This basically helps you free up excess RAM. It also has the inbuilt time resolution program in which I've recommended before and which you'll be seeing as a staple in most performance guides with inside of Windows games, all in one package. So to set the program up and how to use the program, before playing any game, you'll simply boot into the program by double clicking on it. If the program doesn't open up on the desktop or you're having trouble opening it, take yourself to the bottom right hand side, click on your task tray and you should be seeing this small green monitor with inside of here, double click on the program and the program will open up. To set the program up, it's very simple and easy to do. You only need to set up 3 options. To start off, we're going to take yourself to the left hand side, go to the first box. What we're going to be doing is setting the first box to a value of 1024. For the second box, which will more than likely be blank for you as well, we're going to be setting this to half of your system installed memory. You can see your total system memory listed here at the top. As you can see, mine is 16,315 megabytes. So roughly half the number. Your number could be different from mine, but whatever your number is, simply roughly half it. So I'm going to be going with 8196, which is roughly half of 16,000. Last but not least, we'll take ourselves to the right hand side to the Enable Custom Time Resolution option. Under the Wanted Time Resolution box, simply remove everything with inside of here, then input the value of 0.50. Delete everything off the end so it looks just like so. At this point, to start the program, take yourself to the bottom right hand side, click start, then proceeding on from there, hit purge standby list, minimize the program, and at this point, there is only one thing left to do. That is to actually go ahead and boot Fortnite, whether that be through the custom launcher or through the Epic Games launcher, boot into the game and enjoy the brand new optimized experience for Chapter 2. And there you guys have it, that is my ultimate FPS increase guide for Fortnite Chapter 2, also known as Fortnite 2. If you guys did enjoy the video, please do leave a like on the video, as it helps me out tremendously, alongside leaving any results, questions, queries, or suggestions for other content in that comment section down below, as it's always fantastic to hear from you guys. And if you guys do enjoy my content, please do consider pressing that subscription button alongside the bell notification to be notified instantly of whenever my content goes live. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, guys. I have been PANJ, and I'll see you in the next one.